What's up there guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Derail Valley. So this is a special look at the latest update, build 99.4, which was released on the 19th of April 2025. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new train customization, train simulation, and some of the changes to career and cargo. So please do grab yourself a drink, let's hit the rails. Right then guys, so I just wanted to say straight off the bat that this update is completely free if you own the game, which is absolutely awesome. The developer does have a really dedicated roadmap that I can't wait to see come into fruition. We're going to do more coverage on that roadmap in time. Also, this isn't going to be the only video on this most recent update, and I can't wait to show you more of it. I also wanted to mention guys that if you are following my playthrough, that this update won't take effect in those playthrough episodes until at least a couple of weeks, because my episodes are recorded so far in advance, but we will get to it, I absolutely promise you. Right, without further ado, let's get stuck into the update details. Right then guys, so first off the bat we're going to take a look at train customization. So I thought this was quite an exciting couple of changes. So it says that they've added paint jobs to work trains. So this includes the utility rail vehicle, Microshunter, Caboose, Slug and utility Flatcar. So yeah, other than the Flatcar, they can all be painted with both DVRT and demonstrator paint cans. So basically what we're going to do is take a look at that now. Okay then, so I've laid out the various sands and the paints that we're going to need for this job. So let's grab the sprayer and let's get started. So I think probably the best thing to do is just to start by taking off the paint jobs that are currently on these models. Right, so that one looks interesting, doesn't it? So the utility rail vehicle without a paint job. Yeah, alright, let's crack on then. So we'll drop this sand and we'll grab another one. We'll move inside for this one. So this is a new tutorial that they've added as well for this utility rail vehicle. So for now I'm going to hit later. We'll come back to that one. So we'll just continue on our spray painting job. So that's that one removed in terms of the internals. Let's move on to the flat car now. So yeah, I didn't think of this as being something that you'd be able to paint, but let's go ahead. So there we go, there's the flat car with the paint removed. Right, we'll pop over here, we'll drop this, grab another one. Next one, the Microshunter. And again, we'll grab another one for the internal. Pop inside, clear off this old rusty paint in here. So there we go, down to the sort of bare bones. Right, let's head back over here and grab ourselves another lot of sand for the caboose now. Okay, so that's down to bare bones as well, looking rather interesting there. And we'll grab this and then we'll pop inside here. And you will notice as well the remote charging units are gone. Yeah, interesting. It's now a separate item to purchase. So that's a change that we'll cover in more detail. We'll drop that. We'll grab another can. And now we're not doing this one, we'll be doing the slug. So the slug is attached to the rear here. So this ruffled slug is going to get its own paint job. So there we go. Down to the bare metal. Let's head back over here. And now we'll start with the repaint jobs. So let's start with the utility car first. The utility rail vehicle. And we'll take a look at this carefully. So let's put that paint gun away. Wow. That is rather pretty. Looks like a VW van at the front. Like a camper van. Right, let's do the internal part of the rail vehicle. So here we go. We'll do that later still. Oh, it actually... I don't think we sprayed the inside. It thinks that we haven't sprayed the inside there. Even though we used a can. Unless it's popped back into my inventory. Well, I do have a few spare anyway, so... I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll drop this one out. So that's unused. And we'll grab another sand here. And that's now loaded. Yeah, I guess when we went inside, it offered us the tutorial. Like that. And it thought that... I thought it looked as if we'd done it. My bad. Yeah, I thought I checked, but anyway, I guess not. There we go. Now it's clear. Let's start again with that one. So let's grab that one. Right. Let's pop in here. And there we go. It is done now. So let's see. Yeah, looking good. Looking rather stunning, actually. Right, let's pop over here. We'll grab ourselves another can here. And I don't think we'll be able to... Actually, you can paint this one. Okay, I was under the impression there that it wasn't going to let us do that. I thought I would need the DVRT paint for that one. But yeah, it looks great, actually. Yeah, very nice indeed. Okay, well, we'll crack on. Next one, Microshunter. Here we go. Yeah, that's a lot better, isn't it? I mean, I did like the yellow, actually. But that just looks lovely. It's a touch of class, that now. They have made some improvements to the Microshunter, which we will cover. Just hop back inside here. Okay, yeah, very nice. Ooh, that looks lovely. Very nice indeed. Like that brown. Yeah, very good, very classy. What else have we got? We've got the Caboose next. Looking forward to seeing this. Ooh, that blue looks nice. That's going to go well with the DH4. Yeah, lovely. Right, let's grab another paint then and do the inside of the Caboose. Here we go, guys. That looks really nice as well. Right, we'll hop out of here. And lastly, the Slug. Okay, so certainly last but not least, look at that. That just looks amazing. That is exactly perfect, isn't it? And you could actually just do it in the standard rail livery, the standard DVRT livery. But that looks brilliant. I'm sorry, that does look really look good. Okay then, so let's go through the other paint job improvements. So on the S282B tender, the bogies now look new when painted too. They fixed an S282B handbrake crank not getting repainted bug. They fixed a DM3 painting able to get bugged, which was in the latest release. They've made the DM3 gear pattern plaque look like new when repainted, so I just wanted to jump in the DM3 to show you. So that's down there. So if I take a torch and show you like that, that's now looking brand new down there instead of looking rusty and basically awful. They fixed texture errors on DE2 paint jobs and improved mesh normals. They've improved texture detail on existing work trained paint jobs. Installing missing parts to demonstrator steamers now automatically refills their boilers with water. So this is done to avoid confusion of empty boilers taking several full tenders to refill. So if you have done that, you will know that it takes a good few tenders to actually fill the boiler the first time that you drive the train. I think they did this because it's a little confusing to think of how much time it takes to do that. And it's a bit off-putting. It makes you feel as if there's no water going in there at all for a while. It does say, however, that you still need to manually refill the water storage, however. Also, powered cars can now support gadgets with electricity. This includes the Caboose, the S282 tender, and the power-coupled Slug. So just on that last point, there's one thing that I wanted to try here. I just wanted to see if a remote MU connection will now work on the Slug, or whether it'll tell us that it's still not compatible. So I've grabbed a few things. We'll start off by installing a mount here. So we'll pop that there, and then I'm just going to go ahead and just use the screwdriver on this. So bear with me. So just to say as well, they've reduced the volume of that drill action there. And also this mount is looking a lot more detailed. So that was another improvement that they did. Right, let's pop the remote MU on there. And then we're just going to need this. We're going to need this gun. But firstly, let's just pop this hopefully down here without it going missing. And then we'll use this with that. And let's see. It's going to let us solder it. That is very cool, and I'll tell you why. You might think, oh, it's no big deal because you're connected via an MU cable. But I'll tell you something, guys. If we put this into receive mode here, what that means is that you can use the Slug as part of a consist where you're using remote MU connections. Okay, so previously, as soon as you switched on a remote MU inside the cab of a DE6, let's say, this cable here no longer was operational, meaning that if you had a DE6 at the front of your consist with a remote connection to a DE6 at the rear of your consist, and they were both operating under the same controls, because when you've got that on and it works via sort of the master loco, whatever controls that you punch into the master will be replicated in a slave DE6. It means that basically as soon as you've got that remote switched on, the Slug is no longer functional, because when you have that remote switched on, it overrides this cable entirely. It makes it no longer work. So the fact that this works means that you can now have the Slug powered by remote, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really thrilled with that. So I just wanted to take a moment just to expand further upon the ability now to be able to install a remote MU on the Slug, because it really does change the game in quite a dramatic way, to be fair. Previously, if you had a remote connection installed in a DE6 or any connecting locomotive, it would override the blue MU cable, which meant that the Slug was no longer operable, because the Slug receives all of its power through that MU cable, and it also would no longer work basically if you didn't have the blue cable connected. As you can see, the remote connection disabled, and the Slug traction motors wouldn't work without that power. So now that you can install this remote connection on there, it means a couple of things. It means that not only do you have a remote connection between the two, which is great in itself, because it means that you can connect to other locomotives via remote connection, which wouldn't be possible if you wanted to use the Slug. So you could have other locomotives connected to the back of your consist, which is absolutely fantastic. We've done it during the playthrough. It's brilliant because it means that you've got power at the back of the consist. You can have a couple of DE6s if you want, as long as they've all got remote connections. But previously it meant that the slug wouldn't work because, as I said, the remote connection being installed and turned on in the DE6 means that this wire would no longer work, meaning the slug was just like, you know, it's just an extra piece of weight to carry along with you. But now that you can install this, it means that you can have all and every opportunity of power available. It's awesome. All I would say is make sure that you have this facing in the right direction. It's easy to tell which direction the slug's facing because the label is towards the front of the slug. So if the label is at that end, that means that the slug is pointing in that direction. So therefore this switch needs to be in reverse there. Obviously reverse and receive. Now got a little test set up here where I've pulled out the DH4 and connected it up to the caboose. So what we should get if we switch this into forward here is everything moving forward, because the DH4 has also got a remote installed in it. So if I pull this throttle, as you see, the DH4 is going. If I turn the throttle off and put some brakes on, you'll see that the DH4 is stopping. And if I was to put this into reverse, release the brakes, and put some power on, you'll see that the DH4 is now going backwards as well, which is brilliant. And if we actually jump out and jump down here, we can hear that the slug is fully operational as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Here comes the DH4. We can't control the DE6 from back here. We can from here though. And as you can see, it's switched off. And there you go. And there we go. Everything's working. It's brilliant. This DH4 could be at the back of the consist, pushing. Brilliant. Absolutely amazing. Big thumbs up from me for that. Right, so I now want to move on to Train Simulation and discuss some of the things that have been improved there. So we have improved steam engines. So they fixed a bug with the simulation not working correctly at high speeds, or at least low FPS. This affects steam consumption, damage accumulation and high-speed acceleration. They also fixed a cylinder simulation issue allowing unrealistic high speeds, increased S282 adhesion by 20%. They fixed stuck coal dump levers, able to permanently make steam locomotives unusable in VR. They fixed cylinder water sounds randomly playing every few minutes on a static locomotive. They fixed derelict S060, able to increase fire temperature despite having an empty firebox. I've actually seen that one. So they fixed the coal level appearing to be visually full prematurely before it's truly full. They've improved the BE2 Microshunter, which is amazing. Basically, I think they've reworked its power, it says here, now going up to 900 amps, and overheating behavior as well has been improved. So it sounds like it's going to be more usable, which is great because there was really no use for it previously, in my opinion. It now maintains more power into medium speeds, making it more viable as a shunter, which is great. It's now more tolerant of reverse power, and it has reduced compressor strength. So for the DM1U, it's been improved as well. It has reduced engine braking force, which is brilliant because that was quite a strong factor. It's the same in the DM3 actually. They now cut out a gap through the DM1U's flatbed wall to make reaching the cab easier. So it's difficult to spot this one at first, but it's actually here. So what I'll probably do is just get rid of that tutorial. I'll throw up on the screen an image of what it looked like previously because I spotted that in one of the videos that I was editing the other day. And I'll show you it. It just looks a little bit different. What I would have liked actually is to have a much larger area here cut out so that you can see better behind when you're reversing. But that's just me. I mean, that's a personal one really. But yeah, we'll crack on anyway. So also for the DM1U, they made the light wiper switches be neutral at a middle notch. So that's obviously on the dashboard here. So it's now in the middle instead of it being at the bottom as a neutral position. They've improved its detection when doing manual service. They fixed a fuel hose orientation being sideways, improved the brake warning lamp behaviour. It now blinks for more kinds of inconsistencies with coupling. It now plays a warning sound too when it lights up. Right then guys, so I just wanted to touch on this brake warning light update. So basically what it does now, it gives you a beep if there's something not right. So say if you've got a parking brake on or something like that, that light will flash. But say you accidentally switch the cutout, you now get a beep as the light comes on. So it's just warning you that something's not right. There's other ways that you can also trigger this light now. So the light is now off, everything's looking fine, but say for example you accidentally connected up the brake line but you didn't connect up the coupling, and that was now loose, you also get a flash there for that. So it's any inconsistencies with coupling now provide you with this warning light as well. We have increased volume of auxiliary reservoirs, so this reduces the car's tendency to apply brakes when uncoupled. For the DM3 we have now a starter switch as well, so we'll just go over here, and you might have noticed that when I was inside there before, but basically we've now got a starter button instead of a switch like it had before. I quite like the switch, but we've now got a button instead, so that's lovely and started up now. Sounds great, doesn't it? We've also fixed being unable to manually release the independent brake on a Slug. I didn't realise that the Slug has got an independent brake. I didn't know that, unless it means the parking brake. What else have we got? We've got changed the fast travel to not apply independent brakes on locos with empty main reservoirs, but handbrake instead. I'm just going to shut this baby down. They've also made Slug not work underwater and receive damage in such environments, and fixed brake hoses sometimes not being visible. So that's one we've spotted before on the channel during our playthrough. Right, so let's now talk about courier and cargo updates. So they've reduced the BE2 Microshunter request price from $2,500 to $1,000. They've reduced the Caboose request price from $5,000 to $1,000. They fixed the Caboose being visible on the map in realistic difficulty. They fixed missile cargoes having no environmental damage cost. This also bumps up their pay rate, so that sounds good because I do fancy actually having a missile run, so that'll work out quite nicely actually. Right then guys, so that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed that. I had a whale of a time repainting these, and we will do it during the playthrough as well, which I'm partway through. I've jumped back to real time in order to give you this update video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please do hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell for updates. And otherwise guys, please do take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you guys again soon.